Today we're diving into one of the most unexpected live TV moments of the year. Something no one saw coming. Something so shocking that the internet still hasn't stopped talking about it. Keanu Reeves, the man known worldwide for his calm personality, his gentle heart, and his famously polite demeanor, suddenly found himself in the middle of a fiery confrontation with Joy Behar on The View. And what happened next stunned millions of viewers watching live. So let's unpack the full story, moment by moment, and look at how everything spiraled out of control right in front of the cameras. The show began normally. The audience cheered as the hosts took their seats. Keanu Reeves arrived as the special guest to promote his latest project, and everyone expected the usual friendly conversation. The View has seen its fair share of heated debates, but no one ever imagined Keanu Reeves would be at the center of any drama. But that's exactly what happened. The atmosphere shifted the moment he stepped onto the set. Even though he greeted the audience politely, there was already a strange tension under the surface, something the viewers could feel even before the fireworks began. Keanu started off talking calmly about his upcoming film, explaining how much work went into the stunts, the story, and the emotional themes the movie explored. The other co-hosts listened politely, nodding along and asking follow-up questions like they usually do. Everything seemed normal until Joy Behar broke into the conversation with a sudden sharp question that took Keanu off guard and changed the tone instantly. Joy leaned forward, her expression unusually serious, and asked something that sounded less like a question and more like a challenge. She questioned his views on a topic completely unrelated to the movie, something controversial and personal. The audience reacted with an uncomfortable murmur. Keanu paused, visibly surprised, and tried to answer calmly as he always does, but Joy pushed again, interrupting him mid-sentence. This interruption set the entire table on edge. Keanu attempted to steer the conversation back to the project he came to promote. He kept his voice steady, trying to remain respectful, but Joy wasn't done. She interrupted again, more aggressively this time, pressing him and refusing to let him finish a single point. The tension rose so quickly that even the other co-hosts began shifting awkwardly in their seats. Some tried to step in subtly, trying to redirect the discussion or soften the tone, but Joy was determined to keep pushing for a reaction. What no one expected was that she was about to get one. Keanu leaned back slightly, took a deep breath, and for the first time in years of public appearances, his calm exterior cracked. He told Joy firmly that he was trying to answer her question, and that interrupting him repeatedly wasn't fair or respectful. This was the first moment the viewers at home realized something big was happening. Keanu Reeves never raises his voice, never shows anger, never lets confrontation get to him. But this time, he couldn't let it slide. Joy smirked, which only made things worse. She questioned his tone, accusing him of overreacting. That's when Keanu's frustration spilled over. He didn't shout, but his voice grew noticeably louder, firm, and full of controlled anger. He told her very clearly that he had come to the show for a positive discussion, not to be attacked or mischaracterized. The audience gasped loudly, and the studio energy shifted dramatically. You could almost see the shock on everyone's faces, especially the other co-hosts who clearly didn't expect things to escalate like this. As the tension grew, Joy fired back again, but this time Keanu didn't hold back. He told her that her approach was unnecessarily hostile, and that she was turning a simple interview into a confrontation for no reason. He said that if she wanted a real conversation, she needed to allow him to speak. His voice trembled slightly, not from fear, but from sheer frustration. It was a side of him the world had never witnessed before. The audience sat in stunned silence. Even people watching from home later commented that they had never seen Keanu Reeves that angry. The other hosts looked panicked, unsure whether to intervene or sit back and hope it resolved itself. One of them attempted to step between the two metaphorically, trying to change the subject, but Joy insisted on continuing. She accused Keanu of dodging her questions, and that accusation was the breaking point. That's when Keanu leaned forward and told her that he wasn't dodging anything. He simply wasn't being allowed to speak. His voice echoed through the studio as the audience reacted loudly, some gasping again, others murmuring in disbelief. Joy seemed stunned for a moment, clearly not expecting Keanu Reeves of all people to challenge her so directly. But she still didn't back down. She tried to make it sound like Keanu was the one escalating things, but by then it was too late. Keanu had already reached the limit of his patience. He told her that respect should go both ways, and if she wanted honest answers, she needed to stop treating the conversation like a debate she had to win. This comment made the others freeze. Keanu wasn't yelling, but his intensity was unmistakable. The internet would later describe this moment as the most shocking TV confrontation of the year. The director behind the scenes seemed overwhelmed because the camera began cutting awkwardly between angles, unsure where to focus. You could see producers rushing around offstage. Even the live audience seemed confused about whether to clap, stay silent, or react at all. This was uncharted territory. The calmest man in Hollywood was standing his ground on live television. Joy tried one last time to talk over him, but Keanu raised his voice slightly, not shouting, but enough to silence the room. He said he wasn't going to sit there and be disrespected while trying to have a reasonable conversation. His voice echoed with frustration that had clearly built up throughout the interview. Joy's face tightened and she leaned back, obviously taken aback by how strong his response was. For a moment, everything froze. The co-host stared, the audience watched in total shock, and Keanu slowly shook his head in disbelief at how quickly a simple interview had turned into a heated personal clash. No one dared to speak. Even Joy's usual quick comebacks disappeared. She looked uncomfortable, maybe even embarrassed as the rest of the table sat quietly. Finally, one of the co-hosts stepped in, trying to restore control. She attempted to lighten the mood, thanking Keanu for expressing himself and suggesting they move on to a different topic. Keanu remained visibly tense but agreed. The audience let out a breath of relief. But even though the conversation moved forward, everyone could feel the lingering tension thick in the air. Keanu kept his answers shorter, more controlled, and noticeably distant. Joy avoided eye contact, something viewers instantly noticed. The rest of the interview felt awkward. The usual playful energy of the view was gone. The co-hosts seemed hyper, cautious, asking only safe questions and avoiding anything that could reignite the conflict. Keanu's charisma was still present, but the spark had changed. The internet later pointed out that his smile didn't reach his eyes anymore. Even his posture was different, more closed off, more guarded. When the segment finally ended, the audience clapped, but the energy was flat. Keanu thanked the group, but observers noticed he skipped shaking Joy's hand. He simply nodded politely and walked off the stage with a calm but stern expression. Cameras caught Joy glancing awkwardly toward the direction he exited, her face tight with discomfort. As soon as the show returned from commercial break, the hosts attempted to act normal, but it was clear they were shaken. Joy brushed the moment off with a half-hearted joke, but no one laughed. The rest of the episode felt unusually tense, and fans immediately took to social media, expressing disbelief at what they had witnessed. Within minutes, clips of the confrontation began circulating online. Millions of views poured in. People couldn't believe that Keanu Reeves had actually stood up like that on live TV. Comments flooded every platform, with some praising him for defending himself and others criticizing Joy for pushing too hard. The debate became massive, turning into one of the biggest trending topics of the day. Viewers who know Keanu's history, his peaceful reputation, and his soft-spoken nature understood that it must have taken a lot for him to reach that point. People posted countless reactions saying that if someone managed to make Keanu Reeves angry, something must have seriously crossed a line. Others called it the most intense moment in the View's history. As the day continued, entertainment reporters started replaying the clip, analyzing the conversation, and debating which part pushed Keanu over the edge. Some experts said Joy took things too far by making the discussion confrontational from the start. Others argued that Keanu simply had a human moment where patience finally ran out. But almost everyone agreed that this was one of the most unforgettable moments the show had ever aired. Behind the scenes, rumors began spreading about whether the producers were upset about Joy's approach or concerned about the backlash. Some insiders claimed that the tension between Joy and some of the show's guests had been building for months. Others insisted that the incident proved the show needed a major format change. But nothing was officially confirmed. Despite the chaos, Keanu stayed silent afterward, not commenting publicly about the confrontation. Fans praised him for taking the high road by not dragging the situation out any further, but the clip kept spreading and debates continued non-stop for days. Eventually, people started describing the moment as a rare glimpse of Keanu Reeves setting boundaries and refusing to let anyone push him around. The moment also sparked discussions about how celebrity interviews should be conducted. Many argued that guests deserve respect and shouldn't be blindsided with hostile questions unrelated to the topic they came to discuss. Some fans even called for major changes to the show, and others defended Joy's interviewing style. The debate became so large that multiple entertainment outlets covered it for over a week. In the end, what happened on The View that day became a major cultural moment. It reminded people that even the calmest and kindest individuals have limits. It showed that anyone, even someone as famously gentle as Keanu Reeves, can reach a breaking point when treated unfairly. And it also proved that live TV is unpredictable, where anything can happen, and millions of people get to watch it unfold in real time. The moment Keanu stood up for himself became symbolic, a rare instance of seeing a celebrity choose honesty over politeness, boundaries over silence, and because it happened on live television, without editing, without filters, it instantly became one of the most talked about segments of the year. Even now, people are still replaying the clip, analyzing every expression, every pause, and every word. And no matter which side people take, one thing is clear. This confrontation will go down in live TV history as one of the most shocking, unexpected, and intense moments The View has ever seen. Thanks for watching, and if you want more breakdowns of the biggest celebrity moments and live TV shocks, make sure to stay tuned for the next video.